In today's video, we're going to have that perfect mashup of Japanese culture and sneakers coming together. And it's one of my main features of my channel. I've wanted it since the day the channel started. I want to bring that Japanese culture together with that sneaker culture from around the world. Here in Tokyo, Japan, running and sneakers are really hot right now. And there's a real sort of upturn in the sort of sneaker culture and streetwear culture and those things coming together. And there's also a big push for sports because the Olympics are coming next year. So it makes it a sensible time, a good time, the most poppin' and hot of times for Nike to bring out some running shoes. And what they've done is they've brought out a pack of 5 different Zoom sneakers, and they're calling it the EKIDEN Pack. So what I'm going to be doing for you today is I'm going to be talking through what does Ekiden mean, because it's a Japanese word and it means something particular, which maybe you already know, maybe you don't. And I'll be walking you through what that means, and also looking at each of the 5 different Zoom sneakers in this Nike Zoom Ekiden Pack 2019. This is the Tokyo About 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo About 23 Sneaker Channel desu. Mainichi upsu no de mainichi mite kudasai. And every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews, and also a little bit about the butter movement. Now this butter movement stuff I usually keep to the end of the video, but at the start, if you give me just 30 seconds, I talk about this game that we're playing where I drop hints. If you don't understand the game, bang, there's a link to the game. And also if you want to, down below, there's a link to the game as well, which explains how the game works. And basically what I do is I drop a hint in 5 different videos, and then in the 6th video, Shoe Butter comes in with one of the rarest sneakers in the world. Sounds pretty simple. And today what the hint is going to be, it might be too easy. It's day 1, hint number 1. I shouldn't be giving it away too easily, but the hint is NMDR1. If you know anything about Shoe Butter and his collection, maybe that's a little bit too much information. I'm giving away the game a little bit too early. Speaking of giving it away too early, last week's shoe, 2 guys, R.R. Martin and Daddy 2B, both managed to get the shoe within 2 hints. It was quite incredible. The shoe was the ultra rare Reebok Yeezys, there were 4 pairs made of them, and only 50 of each pair, 50 of each colorway were made, and Shoe Butter owns all 4 pairs, which is extremely rare. If you're interested in that video, bang, there's a video of those 4 extremely rare sneakers. Go check that out. Otherwise, let's get back to the content of today's video, which is all about that Nike Ekiden Pack that's coming, and it's dropping here in Japan on December the 3rd, and then the rest of the world January the 2nd. So there's slightly different drop times and drop dates for this particular pack, but I think it makes sense that it's dropping here first because Ekiden is a Japanese word, and it's a Japanese event, which I'll be explaining to you guys in just a couple of seconds. But first, this is a YouTube channel, and YouTube channels survive on subscribers and likes and comments and all those kind of things. So please do hit that subscribe button down below. It is truly helpful, and it does make a massive difference to the channel. But also hitting the like button. What I realized was I haven't been asking people to hit the like button, and if I don't ask, people don't remember to do it. So right now, down below, click the like button and help the channel to grow. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every single one of my videos, Toroku yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Shite no toroku button o click suru to tasukaru no de, zehi toroku o susume shimasu. Ato wa iine o click suru to tasukaru no ne, channel ga okiku naru hazu no de, iine mo toroku mo click. Okay, let's get into looking at this Ekiden thing. So I said we're in a 2-part video today. One is explaining what an Ekiden is, and the other is looking at the 5 different shoes in this particular Ekiden pack. So Ekiden, it's a Japanese word. I have actually done an Ekiden once, and what basically means, Ekidens are like long distance relays. Usually a relay race is done over 100, 200, maybe 400 meters, and that's about it really. But what an Ekiden is over a longer distance. Now the one that I did in particular, there were 4 different runners in the Ekiden. One runner ran 10k, the second runner ran 3k, the third runner ran 5k, and then the 4th runner ran 3k as well. So there were 4 of us that ran that race, a total of, 21 kilometers, so it's basically a half marathon in distance, but instead of running it all yourself, it's a team of you that run it over the course. Now, the one I did, the course itself was about 5 kilometers long, so whoever did the 10k run had to do 2 loops of the course. 5k run did 1 loop, and 3k runs kind of went halfway and came back again. And collectively, your time it goes in. You know, that's how you win the race. It's more of it's almost a fun run sort of feel. It's carnival, it's costumes. The one I did, I would say maybe, I'm going to go with about 20,000 people were all gathered there, spectators and runners included. And out of those 20,000, maybe 4,000 were actually running the race, so it's quite a big event. And lots of people in costumes and lots of people just enjoying the day out, picnics beside the course and things like that. So it's a very community sort of feel to the event. They don't have to be that distant. Some Ekidens, all 4 sort of legs are the same distance. Some are very, very serious. It's an extremely serious thing that people are, it's actually competitive Ekiden sort of style of thing. And other times it's more just fun, like the one that I took part in back a few years ago when I was running more than I am these days. But I will try to get back into running. I will. So that's what an Ekiden is. Now, to celebrate that, the Ekiden season coming up here in Japan, Japan's summer is brutally hot. Usually way up in the 35, even touching the 40 degrees on the old temperature gauge, and it's oppressively humid here, incredibly humid. So those two together, it's just impossible. It's very difficult to do any kind of outdoors endurance sport in the summer. So in Japan, you get a lot of outdoor sports, endurance sports especially, fall, winter and spring. So for example, the Tokyo Marathon is usually at the end of February, so that you're coming out of the cold months, but you haven't yet hit the hot months yet. So it's not a surprise to me that they're bringing out this sneaker at the end of the year in the sort of fall to winter months time. And that's the Ekiden season when people will start to sort of sign up for the Ekiden runs. I think the one I did was in March or April, but definitely before the temperature had ramped up and got way too hot. That was the first half of this. The video was about Ekidens and what Ekidens are. The second half is more about the actual shoes themselves, because there's 5 different shoes in here. I've run a few marathons. I've run 5 in total, all here in Japan. Tokyo Marathon twice. A marathon at the base of Mount Fuji twice. They renamed it one year, and I ran it under its 2 different names and 2 different courses, but basically the same marathon. And then the Nagano Marathon. So I've run 5 and finished 5 marathons. And I'm a jogger, not a runner. So I'm not hitting the 3.5 hour marks when I'm doing these marathons. I mean, way over 4 hours. One of them was 6.5 hours because I'd had like a virus the week before that I'd lost 5 kilograms to, but I still turned up. My philosophy that time was I'd just go to the start line and start running and see how much I can do. And if I end up at the finish line, yay. If I don't make it to the end, then, well, I'll just quit, if it's too much for me. So I just plodded along for 6.5 hours. It was a heck of a thing to do, but I did it. I managed it, and each of the 5 marathons I've entered, I've managed to finish. So I'm proud of that fact. But not fast. I'm not a runner. I'm a jogger. So I don't know running shoes perfectly well. I'm not crazy familiar with them. To be honest, I know more about streetwear brands than running brands. And that's especially obvious in these 5 shoes because I had a really hard time trying to work out which shoe was which. So there's 5 different shoes that we've got here. We've got the Zoom Fly 3, the Zoom X Vaporfly Next, the Zoom Rival Fly, the Pegasus Turbo 2, and the Pegasus 36. So you've got those 3 different sneakers. And I was pretty sure I knew a couple of them right off the bat. But the others, it's like, ooh, which one of these is the Zoom X Vaporfly and which one's the Zoom Fly 3? Oh my God, I don't know which one's which. So what I did was I did a bit of investigating, and you see here, I think it's the Rival. You can actually see it says the word Rival on the sneaker. So it's like, great, I've got that one down. There's another one, I want to say it was the Vaporfly. I think the Vaporfly has it written up around the collar. So I was like, yes, got that one. And I'm pretty familiar with Pegasuses, so because I've done a few Pegasus reviews for the channel. Maybe I could sling up a link to some of them. Most of those are trail blazers, though, like the blazers, trail sneakers, like the off-whites and stuff like that. Not the off-whites, God, Zooks, man. The Gore-Tex trails, the Pegasus 36 trails. So most of them are trail sneakers. So running shoes, I'm not all that familiar with, but I'm going to do my best. So let's have a look at these 5 different ones. I'm going to start with the Zoom Fly 3. And all of the sneakers have this kind of electric blue and orange motif to them. I'm not sure if that comes from anywhere in particular. It's not an Ekiden thing. Ekidens are more than just this kind of single or double color. They're very colorful events. So just having this common electric blue and orange motif. I don't know why they went for that, but they did. And you can see here with this, what I think is the Zoom Fly 3, please correct me in the comments down below if you know differently. That massive chunk of Zoom outsole and midsole on this guy's surely comfortable. And then compare it to the next one after it, the Zoom X Vaporfly next. The thing that I really compared about these two, the sneakers, now regardless of what the name is, just looking at the two silhouettes, especially around the heel, I've always been a bit critical of these kind of heel points on Nikes, where it comes to a very pointed end, but it also kind of, I don't know how you describe it, lips up from the back of the sneaker. And I've always been a bit critical of that, but a runner did comment on one of my videos that actually protects the Achilles quite a lot, and it does a lot to protect your ankle and Achilles with the impact on hard concrete and running on roads and things like that. So you can see in this Zoom X Vaporfly next behind me here that it does have that lip and that point where the midsole sort of comes to its conclusion around about the heel of the sneaker, but that's actually more for performance than it is for just design and for cool. So and I do actually, these two sneakers in particular, both of the Vaporflies, the Zoom Flies and the Vaporflies, I just love the silhouette. I think it's a really cool, sleek looking sneaker. I think they got it on point. But the Zoom Rival Fly is a lot more toned down. You can see that the midsole is a sort of it's less of a cushion on there. The upper on all of these guys, you've got that fly knit upper on the first two, but here it seems to be a bit more of a fly. Let me get this right. So this seems to be more fly knit in the Zoom Rival, whereas on the Vaporflies and the Zoom Fly 3s, it doesn't seem to be fly knit. It seems to be something more sleek than that. So on the Zoom Rival flies, it seems to be more of a knit thing. And hopefully behind me here, you can see a close-up of that knit. And maybe I can have a flashback to the Zoom Fly 3s where you see it's less of a knit. Maybe it's just a different material, but it's still that fly knit. I'm not sure, but it looks like a different upper to me on those two there. So you've got that Zoom Rival 3, the Zoom Rival Fly as well, and then the Pegasus Turbo 2s coming in, still in that same sort of motif and that same sort of colorway with the electric blues and the oranges on there, but definitely a more knit upper on these guys. And then if you have a look at the lacing system here, you've got a very solid kind of constructed lacing system on the eyelets there. I reviewed these a lot, Pegasus a lot with, like I said, the trails, and I was quite critical of the lacing system on them, especially when they seem to be more for design than anything else. But these guys here seem like they're definitely more in the world of running than lifestyle sneakers. So, and then that brings us on to the last one, which is the Air Zoom Pegasus 36, which is a really, I don't know how you describe it. I was going to say bog standard, but that's a little bit semi-offensive. But it is a standard running sneaker, and of the 5, I would say that the Air Zoom Pegasus 36 is probably the one that the average person is going to go for more. Your high-level runners or your very serious runners might go for one of the other 4 sneakers because of the performance that they give over the Pegasus 36. But I would say that the Zoom Pegasus 36 is the one that people are most likely to go for and most likely to see out there at races or on streets and things like that. So that's the 5 different sneakers that come in this Ekiden pack from the Nike brand coming up for the Ekiden season here in Japan. It'll be interesting to see if these guys get any traction when they drop January 2nd to the rest of the world. I think they're going to be super hot here because Ekidens are, they're just a cultural thing. it's hard to explain because a marathon is very much the runners are doing it, and of course people are watching it, but there's a divide between the two. But Ekiden's, it's much more like a community thing. It's not just like the runners being watched. There's a real interactive element to it, and because of that culture and the way that Ekidens are, I wouldn't be surprised if these sneakers do really well here when they drop in Japan on December the 3rd. But I would like to know how they do in the rest of the world when they drop on January the 2nd, and see if the rest of the world is as interested in these as I think people here in Japan will be. Okay, that's enough about this pack of sneakers. Like I said, it's Butter Movement Day, so it's not Butter Movement Day. It's at the end of the videos I do Butter Movement stuff, and we're getting to the end of this one. So I've been doing this game with Shoe Butter where he's sending me up some of the rarest shoes in the world, so that, you know, his on-hand videos of them, and then I can put that into the channel. I really appreciate the on-hand thing, but some people have been asking me about, you know, sneakers in hand, not on hand, on feet, sneakers in hand and stuff like that. And I maybe haven't made this clear in my videos, but my goal for this channel is that I'm really inspired by the son of some man who's in fact, I should really put a link to his channel right there. The son of some man who's, you know, been a great supporter and an OG Butter Movement guy, and his tie-up with J&M Sneakers, and the tie-up he has with J&M Sneakers gets him sneakers in hand a lot for his channel, and I really want to try and work that angle here in Tokyo. So I want to look at someone like Billy's or Kickslab or Worm or any of those channels and try and find a way to tie up with them sneaker stores, and try and find a way to tie up with them so that I can get sneakers in hand, because I'm not a wealthy man and I can't just go ahead and buy them, and that way I'd get sneakers in hand. But the only way I could do that is if the channel's got substance to it. You know, if you only had 5 subscribers and you walked into a store and said, hey, I want to be your YouTuber, they'd just laugh at you. So I really need to get those subscribers up there so that so I can then go to the local stores, there's local sneaker stores here in Japan, and say, look, I'm a legitimate sneaker channel and I want to, you know, push your store, but the offset of that is that I get to use your sneakers, you know. So of course they wouldn't give me the sneakers. I mean, of course I'd take them if they offered them, but but it's my kind of angle that I'm playing for. So you know, that's the reason why I don't get sneakers in hand very often, and I can't give you on foot and stuff like that, because just not a very wealthy man, and this is my kind of way of trying to work towards that. So hitting that subscribe button down below would help do that. Okay, enough about that. That's Butter Movement stuff. Enough about what's going on here with the channel and things like that. It's time for me to sign off, though, and thank you guys for checking out my content. I truly appreciate it, and I am here every single day doing this, even though I have a full-time job and a family at home. I still do these daily drops on YouTube, and we're getting close to a year of daily drops. The channel's more than a year old, but I decided to do daily drops in early December last year, and I haven't missed a day since, so I'm looking forward to getting to a whole calendar year of daily drops from my channel. It's been a grind, but it's been an enjoyable grind. For now, though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, and as I am here every single day, I get to look you guys dead straight in the eye and tell you that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.